What's going on, guys? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is March 12th of 2018. Well, folks, again, we have the honor and privilege of getting to talk to the leader and founder of one of my favorite projects in the cryptocurrency space, Justin Tabb, the founder of Substratum. Justin, it's great again to have you here on the show, and we've got a lot to talk about today.
Thanks for having me, man. Big day.
Definitely. So this is supposedly a big day for Substratum. I've been keeping up with the project myself, and I know many out there who follow the Data Dash channel are not only followers, but investors in the project, and many of them have been keeping up with the big announcement that you guys have. So you just released it out to the public, the announcement of the 0.2 beta for Substratum. So would you like to talk a little bit about the details about it? It seems like it's pretty big news for you guys. It's the first step towards having a official product.
Yeah, so actually today, March 12th every year, is the World Day Against Cyber Censorship. So we sort of picked the day for a reason because obviously we're very much against censorship. That's a big part of what our vision is to ensure an internet where everything is open and free and equal. Everybody has the same access to the same information. So today we released a three-part announcement. The first part of that is that 0.2.0 is ready, and it's going to be delivered to beta testers starting today. We checked the announcement for more details on that actual strategy of how we're rolling that out, but it is going to beta testers today. It's a technical update it's very much for technical users to try. It's basically meant to gather a whole lot of information so that we can know that we're great on the right track and that we're ready to move forward to the next step.
Awesome. So from there on out, I'm assuming you'll have a first success in regards to the 0.2 release, releasing it out to more and more individuals. I think it was in parties of 100 starting off and then moving
day
more
by
and more.
day. Yeah. So we're going to start with basically 100 people today, first 100 people on the list, and give them an email which basically has instructions and terms and conditions and all that, and then a quick 3-part test that they need to perform, and then sort of a survey at the end for how it went. And then from there, we'll go roll to another 100 people, and basically until we've hit that threshold of data that we need to be able to move forward to the next step, which the next one's the one that I'm really excited about.
I'm assuming that's a public release?
Yes. So the very next version, which is the version that's being worked on right now, is the public release. That's the one that we will release to the open public. No beta tester list, no email, no anything. Just if you want it, you can download it, you can use it, and you can surf the majority of the internet. So we will still reach out to some beta testers to receive some specific information back, which is part of the reason why we're not using our sort of whole pool of data testers or beta testers for people that have registered in this one. But it will be open to the public, and I'm very excited about that, where people can just go to our website, download it, and start using it. And the data we gather from that then takes us on to the very next one, which is very exciting. So.
Cool stuff. Yeah. I think it's coming at a good time here because I know back a few months ago, the big thing that everyone was concerned about, I didn't really get to look actively into the subject personally, but I know in the Substratum community and in general on the web, everyone was very concerned about net neutrality. I'm assuming that's going to be coming effective relatively soon. I think sometime in April.
Right.
And
April
then
23rd. Yeah.
And then also along with that as well, you have, for what I've been keeping up with for the past year or so, which is the breakdown of VPNs in China, which have been the tool, obviously, for practically anyone in China and other countries of censorship to get past the Great Firewall. So again, I would really like to see, how Substratum can come in at this time, serve as a weapon to fight against this censorship, to be kind of the next step, like we've seen, for example, maybe in industries like torrenting, for example. There was always a way that technology evolved around it, and maybe Substratum could be that.
Right. So there are, 3 key things that are going on in the world right now. I actually released a video last week that kind of talks about those. The first, chronologically, is on March 27th. The European Union votes on what they're calling their copyright directive, and Article 13 in that is very specific in that for websites, let's say you run a website and a video sharing website like YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it requires them to really censor and really know what's being uploaded and really just kind of censor that. And so many people are very much against that. It kind of falls in the same lines of censorship. And that vote happens on March 27th. So whether or not that will take effect remains to be seen. Like you just said, VPNs, actually external VPNs in China on March 31st, they will only allow government approved VPNs, which obviously are not going to allow access to things that they don't want you to have access to. So that'll be the end of that. And then net neutrality, the Title II regulations that basically provided protections to ensure that we all receive the same data or the same information at the same speed. Those protections come to an end April 23rd. So it really is a great time for us. One thing that we've been able to do that we actually didn't think we'd be able to do, at least I didn't, when I originally came up with the vision of this, the team's been able to take what we kind of call the decentralized web, and then which would be like sites hosted on the decentralized web, and then the open web, like sites who initially would not because of input, output, and throughput, stuff like Facebook or YouTube, right? And they've been able to merge that together in what we're kind of calling a hybrid web. So if you're running a Substratum node, not only are you earning passive income, but you're able to, through the network of nodes, gain access to sites that would be blocked on that open web. So if you were a user in China and basically you wanted to see Facebook, then the way that it works is the request bounces through nodes until it finds a node that can fulfill that request. Once it does, then there's a video out there talking about our CORS network. And so once it does get through the CORS network and finds one that can fulfill it, it creates that package, packages it back up as a CORS response, and sends it back through the network. It could be a different route, could be the same route to ensure that it doesn't get blocked. And once it get back to the originator, which is you, it says, I have access to basically decrypt this package, and then I basically explode it out and view the content. So it's something where I really believe that is a huge benefit in this time, because with VPNs ending, it's something that's totally going to aid in mass adoption, because not only am I earning passive income, but I'm getting access to things that I can't without that VPN. That could be a cryptocurrency exchange. It could be, just something like Facebook. So I really believe that is a huge thing that the guys have been able to do.
You know, remember you mentioned this back a few months ago, this same fact of how you get pretty much access to the World Wide Web by hosting a node. And when I learned about that, I thought about the incentive structure that's behind it personally, because you see a lot of cryptocurrency projects out there, and what I try to do is understand, why would someone adopt this? As someone in China, to put yourself in the shoes of someone in China who just simply wants to access things like you said, Facebook or Google, or things that are censored by China due to cutting out competition or things that they don't want you to see. Because of that, you have an incentive structure, because VPNs are being government controlled, so you're not going to get access, like you said, to those websites. And along with that as well, you have to pay for VPNs. Whereas if you host a Substratum node, all you have to do is put a little bit of computational power in your bandwidth towards hosting a node on the network. And with that, you get access to the World Wide Web through relaying to other nodes on the network. And along with that as well, you instantly get access to what a VPN would provide, yet you're earning at the same time. So rather than spending, you're earning. So this could be an income source for so many people in China. The incentive structure is so strong. So, I mean, if the internet wasn't enough of a push, obviously you've got an income structure as well with Substratum.
Right. Yeah. So absolutely. We think that that's something that's just amazing. And I really believe, like I said, that mass adoption, that's key. You get those two things, those two incentives: access to things I couldn't get before, and then passive income, and you've got something that should take off like a rocket ship. I mean, as far as adoption is concerned.
Definitely. So, you guys got a lot of good things fundamentally going. You've got 0.2 released. You've got hopefully the public beta coming out relatively soon. There's been a lot of talks as well, and this is something that I haven't really gotten the time to look into personally, because I've gotten busy ever since I came back from my trip. But I am curious, you guys have mentioned about a documentary that's supposed to reach a pretty wide audience. So for any details you can share on that, would really like to kind of get some info on that.
Yeah, so we can't release the name of the show yet, but it is so it's sort of a mini documentary. It's about 7 to 8 minutes long. Runs on major networks, generally CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business Network, and maybe a few others. The intended audience is 60 million homes, so that's a lot of people who would never ever probably hear about, maybe don't even know what cryptocurrency is or what blockchain is. So it's an extraordinary opportunity. They came in, they filmed, 5 or 6 of us in the office, and are just putting it together in a great format. And we're really excited to see that go out, because initially it started as they approached us about doing something that's sort of cryptocurrency blockchain based, because we're using the blockchain in a unique way, and using cryptocurrency in a unique way. But with all these 3 things that we just talked about, these 3 key dates, they really saw an opportunity to speak to that, to speak to worldwide censorship, and to speak to net neutrality in the United States. And so they've really taken and done a hard push on that, and fast-tracked this story. And the goal, granted this is a goal, is that it's on before net neutrality ends in April 23rd. So that's really what they're pushing for, and it's going to be super exciting to see that go out, and it's going to provide huge exposure to not only net neutrality and the things that are happening, and not only cryptocurrency and blockchain, but also to Substratum, and because we're presented as the potential solution for that. So it's very exciting. We feel very blessed to have that happen to us.
No, exactly. It seems like a solution in a perfect storm at the right time.
Yeah, it
Whereas
sure
a
does
lot,
to me.
I mean, honestly, I remember during the net neutrality debate for everyone, I think there was a mass majority of people obviously take a side against or for net neutrality and everything. However, but what I always saw was a lack of solutions or a lack of action. It was always just, well, we're kind of at the helm of, what, I forget what his name is, Sadiq Khan, or what's his name?
Yeah, I forget that.
I can't remember Sam Darrow. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
pretty much, the chairman of the SEC. So the whole thing that I basically came to is the idea that it's like, you know what, this looks kind of like a lost cause if this is the right step to take, and because of that, it would be nice to look for technical solutions, because that's usually what's tended to come during times of censorship or times where governments
that's really what we've come down to, is that we don't want to trust governments or corporations with with this issue. We believe the internet should be free and open for everyone, and it should worldwide. Everyone should have the same access to the same information. But the only way to do that, like you said, is a technological solution. And so once you have that, it's truly decentralized, can't be stopped, then the internet will be free and open for everyone forever. And that's really what that's where our heart is. That's where our goal is to make sure that that happens.
Good. Oh, well, yeah, Justin, there's a lot of good things going on here, but I do want to kind of get to a technical side here, both for myself and then also for the audience who doesn't get to keep up with it 24/7. I'm just curious, as Mike, like I asked in my previous interview, and I'm always going to ask this when I interview teams, is there anything that Substratum as a project is facing as a challenge right now? Are you guys having any issues in regards to the technical side of things, in regards to development, marketing, any kind of thing like that you feel you just want to share and say what you're working towards?
Well, there's always issues, right? So what we're doing is never been done before. You can't go Google search how to create a decentralized internet. It doesn't exist. So as far as from a development standpoint, yes, there's always tremendous issues. But we have what I believe is a rock star team. I'll say it, and
No, I don't doubt it, man. I got to meet him.
My voice is gone. I absolutely believe it. The best people that I've ever worked with, and that's in a lot of years with working with a lot of really big companies. And so we just overcome those on a daily basis. One thing that, and Abram said this before in a video, that I believe is a challenge that we don't, is that people in the cryptocurrency space seem to be very, impatient. They, because of the ability to
Everything's so fast.
And a lot of times, make such, quick gains and quick returns. They kind of get, myself included as an investor, you get sort of spoiled by that, and you expect everything to go very quickly. But we believe in doing it the right way. We're not out to, quick gains are great, I always say, but we're out to provide staying power and a true solution that changes the way the world communicates forever. And you can't rush that. So we're doing it the right way. And, I always say that people who stick with us, I believe, will be well rewarded for it.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that, not trying to be a kiss up here at all, but you guys started back really, I mean, you launched the ICO and went through in August. And during that time period, I think you guys really kind of started to pick up towards the end of fall, towards December in your office in Ohio that I got to go visit. And I have to tell you all, the kind of undertaking you're going under to try to create something that's never been created before, to create what could be a solution to the centralized web, which is vulnerable to government censorship and control. I mean, that's massive. If you guys can deliver this within the mid part of 2018, especially before net neutrality, that's a huge deal, especially with VPNs being censored by the Chinese government. So again, no, I mean, hats off to you guys and stuff. Again, I always tell people, don't look towards the short term of these things, guys. Look towards projects out there who are trying to fix big ideas and actually utilizing blockchain. And in the case of Substratum, I always see the devs active. If you guys want any information, it's out there. They talk about it. Justin, again, what we just mentioned earlier about how you can access the web by hosting a node, that stuff is out there. You just have to follow the sources. So again, you guys know where to follow Justin and his team on Twitter. There's all the Twitter handles, and you can join their Telegram and stuff. But if you guys need any information, it's all out there. Yeah.
Yep. And so, I mean, another thing worth noting, I think, is that a lot of people have asked this, and we said we would be from the get-go, is that with our public release that is very imminent, the one we're working on right now, we will be open source. We'll be open sourcing the node, and so people will be able to go in and review the source code. We're open sourcing under the GPL v3 license, and so basically, it's out there in the open. And a lot of people have asked, including people in our marketing team who aren't, very not development focused.
Mm-hmm.
But once you put the source code out there, can somebody like China just go and sort of reverse engineer it and block it? And the answer is actually no, they can't, because of the way it truly works decentralized. So, and that to me speaks to just how beautiful, as a nerd here, how beautiful and elegant the code is, that it, even with exposing everything, you cannot basically reverse engineer it. So that is actually a perfect solution. What we won't be open sourcing, and I've said this from the beginning, is basically our financial payment structure, because for obvious reasons, we don't want people to be able to get in there and sort of manipulate that and maybe steal crypto or something like that, or go in there and figure out a way to sort of make them earn really, really fast. Like,
so for crypto pay won't be open source, whereas the
well, actually, crypto pay is sort of separate, but crypto pay is actually, we're working actually to tie that into the payment structure. But the way that people are actually paid out from node to node,
okay,
that will not be open source. But so from the beginning, we said anything that runs on a user machine will be open source. So anything that you can pick up and take, download the source, build, and run Substratum node the exact same way that you would as if you downloaded the executable or, basically the package for your operating system right from the website. So that's the end goal, so that people can review it and know there's nothing fishy going on here. It is exactly what they say it is. It's doing exactly what it is. We're not mining Monero or something inside of your machine. We're actually, we're serving requests. We're doing exactly what we say we are. So we're excited about releasing that. Because we're extremely proud of what we've done, and I just, am looking forward to people seeing that and just being blown away by it the way that I am.
No, Justin, yeah, I'm excited to see it happen as well. I think we've got many people here who watch the Data Dash channel who are excited for it, and many people as well have asked me personally, and I texted Justin this a while back and stuff, and I pestered him before we did the video. We're hopefully going to, in the future, do a video on how you can support the Substratum network. It's one thing to invest in it, guys, but to really support this idea and this cause is to run a node, just like it is in the case of Bitcoin, or to become a miner in the network. So in the case of Substratum, the next time we see Justin on the channel, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I want to do a video on building a PC rig for those of you out there who have customized PCs and everything, in order to build a Substratum node to support the network and the things and components that not only will help support the network, but also give you a higher return of Substratum that you earn, which is really nice. I love how you guys did that in regards to having a better system that also compounds into better returns.
Yeah. So what we'll do, kind of what we talked about, everyone, is that we'll pull in Dan or someone from our team who's the extreme technical person, understands under the hood exactly how everything works, and can explain to you all the details about it. And then, can sort of tell you these are things that'll help you be, a better help, and also at the same time be more profitable once we're fully up and running down the road. So I think that'll be a great one to do, and I think a lot of people will be interested in seeing that.
Awesome. Well, Justin, that's a lot of great things going on for Substratum. We've got 0.2 released today. We've got the public release coming out relatively soon. No official date as of yet. You've got a documentary that might reach 60 million individuals. You've got, the perfect storm coming with the European government coming out with censorship policies. You've got China coming down and cracking down on VPNs, and you've also got net neutrality being canceled. So, you've got all these different things coming in. I wish you guys the best of luck and everything. And I want to say personally to you, because I didn't get to say it before we did the interview, congrats on the baby. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, I understand. A lot of people were like, when's this coming out? And I'm just like, guys, he just had a baby and they're trying to do something so huge. So congrats to you, Justin. I want to say, outside of crypto, that's a wonderful thing to happen, and wish you and your family the best. All right, guys. Well, Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you guys very much for tuning into the interview and everything. Hope we got to answer some good questions. If you do have any questions, though, not only can you comment down below in the description, or sorry, down in the comments down below in the video, but along with that as well, feel free to hop into the Telegram, reach out to the community on Substratum.
Yep.
They're some of the nicest people I've met. They're very active, not only the team members, but also the people who are active investors and participants in the community. So again, lots of great resources out there. And Justin, again, thank you very much for coming on.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, man. Always good to talk to you.
All right. Take care, everyone.